everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. A lot of change of plans. As you see right here, tonight was supposed to be the scheduled WWE Championship match between champion Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. But those plans have turned upside down. I mean, upside down indeed. Unfortunately for Sami Zayn, Mr. Zayn will have to put his championship on the line. Sami puts the championship on the line against this man, CM Punk, who returned. CM Punk came out of nowhere and returned with a bang. CM Punk is now the new undisputed WWE champion. We'll get to that coming up. Plus, a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to go down tonight, including the World Tag Team Championship match. The Street Profits set to defend the tag team gold. They defend the tag team gold against the Vision. Can the Vision rebound from their losing the tag team titles? Paul Heyman gave them an edict. Let's see about that edict coming up here tonight. Also, too, Sola Roca defends her women's Intercontinental Championship against challenger Raquel Rodriguez. Can Raquel Rodriguez win some gold and be like her mentor Kevin Nash? We'll see coming up. Plus, in Wrestling Hot Topics right here, we're going to talk about this. Jey Uso, well, his personal life, Jey Uso, he wasn't seen tonight on Raw. We'll give you the latest on what's going on outside the ring with him. Him getting a divorce. It's crazy. But other news, I want to talk about this right here. Mandy Rose just announced that her and her fiance are expecting their first child. Mandy Rose expecting her first child. But we get the Raw Ring Report started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Raw Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you enjoyed here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification if you like what's going on in the show. We're going to give you a quick rundown of what happened tonight immediately after Raw. So let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get things started right here. And we get things started with this. I'm going to start with this. We know Sami Zayn has been on the all-time high, winning the championship at Night Champions over Cody Rhodes. But what was going to be the end, the fate of Sami Zayn? Was Sami Zayn Cinderella story was going to come to an end tonight due to the hands of Cody Rhodes? That's the question that everybody wants to know. Sami riding high with the WWE title. But things could change. I mean, things could change. But Sami Zayn got confronted by Cody and Gunther. We thought that Gunther had really gave him an easy win tonight over Cody. I guess they're trying to figure out not put Cody in the child picture by having Gunther change everybody's plans. Gunther talking about he's gonna do what he needs to do best and take out Cody. Well, that leaves another void. I mean, another void right here where Cody Rhodes was getting evaluated. Once he got evaluated, Cody Rhodes saying that he was going to take the championship away from Sami, but that didn't happen tonight. Sami Zayn plans got derailed as Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Adam Pearce running both shows as Nick Aldis is placed on administrative leave. I'm going to show you Nick Aldis before we leave out. Nick Aldis right here. He still got his issues with Gunther, and Gunther told, which we told you earlier, Cody send to Sami that I was coming, but Sami had ran down Cody and told Cody that he doesn't want his help and doesn't need his help, and that the championship will stay in scrapes. Well, that led to Adam Pearce making a decision that many people thought the decision was going to be, we thought Cody was going to be replaced. Who was Cody's replacement? Adam Pearce was going to tell Sami that he'll find out in the ring a little later on, and that led to a whole bunch of skeletons right there with CM Punk. When I mean CM Punk came out there with a standing ovation, CM Punk returned back on Raw, and CM Punk came back. Almost a 3-month absence since losing the championship at WrestleMania to Roman Reigns. CM Punk finds his way back in the championship picture. And CM Punk said to Cody at the time that if a championship comes his way, he was going to grab it. He was going to do what he needed to do best. Well, CM Punk and Sami Zayn did go. And what a matchup that was, a high intense matchup. We might see a rematch of that coming up on SmackDown sooner than later. Maybe this week or maybe next week. But CM Punk pinned Sami Zayn to win his 8th WWE Championship. CM Punk back on the mountaintop once again as the WWE Champion. Congratulations to the Second City Saint for winning the World Championship for 8 times. CM Punk is back on the mountaintop once again as WWE Champion. After losing the World Championship is still considered a WWE title. But he lost the championship and now back on the prowl as the new WWE Champion. Now CM Punk heads to SmackDown with the gold. And now CM Punk, it was already known that CM Punk was coming. The fans gave it away. Everybody knows that CM Punk was coming. We just didn't know what role CM Punk was going to come then, but he did. CM Punk back on the mountaintop once again as the world's champion, and CM Punk back again as the WWE Champion. So congratulations to CM Punk. We'll see what he has to say this Friday on SmackDown when he makes his appearance as the WWE Champion. So look forward to seeing that this Friday on the SmackDown Ring Report coming up. We'll have results and we'll have reviews and results on that. And what does Cody Rhodes think of all this after he got put shut after trying to regain this championship? But Cody Rhodes had to sit this one home because CM Punk back on the prowl once again as the world champions. And Cody Rhodes, we got to wonder what Cody Rhodes thinking. Like, I just got my opportunity to see CM Punk. Now I want a shot at the goal. We'll see if Cody Rhodes is gonna be gunning for the goal coming up this Friday on SmackDown. Well, speaking of that, we Raw did kick off with that. That was later, but Raw kicked off with Seth Rollins appearing on the show to talk about his history with Roman Reigns. We know these two men will meet at SummerSlam, and Seth Rollins aired off. He was chasing Roman for the world through Roman's career with world titles and trying to keep up with Roman and saying that Roman was always the chosen one, which later he basically trying to say Vince McMahon chose Roman Reigns over him and Dean Ambrose, which that's not right, but that's how the business works and operates, unfortunately. But Vince McMahon no longer there. And Roman said that to Austin Theory about Where's Your Daddy? You benefited from it too, because you were a part of the you held back Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They ain't gonna mention it because you know they looked at you as brothers, but they knew who was the hood ornament, and you were the hood ornament. Well, that hood ornament will be back on Raw, and he'll have his say. It's that Roman Reigns got a lot to prove. Like, I like Roman Reigns. It's just that Roman Reigns sometimes can shift around. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of people saw him in that White House event, and he did admit that he voted for Donald Trump, but he's a registered Democrat, but I don't know why his views align with Trump. A lot of people saying that it's all about the money, and Roman Reigns didn't show up because of money, which Seth Rollins did state that Roman Reigns didn't show up because they couldn't cut the right check for him and stuff. Roman Reigns becoming a we'll see between them two, but we know that Roman Reigns really being an ire, if you know what I mean, to a lot of people, even to the point that LA Knight had something to say. If we can show a picture of LA Knight right quick, I guess we don't, but LA Knight did say something about how Seth Rollins group and Roman group trying to hold him back from not being world champion, but Seth saying you'll get your moment when the time is right. Well, LA Knight got ambushed and attacked by none other than Roman's cousin Jimmy Uso. We'll tell you what Jay's whereabouts a little bit later on, and stay with us on Wrestling Hot Topics. That Jay wasn't on the show tonight, but Jay's did get felt. His spirit did get lingered around, but we'll talk about that on Wrestling Hot Topics a little bit later on in the show. But right here, Jimmy attacked LA Knight, left LA Knight from behind. LA Knight can't get a break one bit, even to the point that Jacob Fatu attacked LA Knight again after LA Knight was chasing after Jimmy. And Jacob Fatu laid him out, called him a lame, you know what. So I guess LA Knight's gonna have a big problem with Jimmy and Jacob to get his monkey out back. So I guess Roman Reigns, they're doing that heel storyline once again, but you know how that go and how that be. Well, to this right here, the World Tag Team Championships were defended. Let's go to the board right quick. Let's go to the full screen, please. Full screen right quick. Let's hit a graphic, please, before we get there. Maybe Jacob and Jim might go for the tag team championship. You never know. But speaking of that, the Street Profits defending the World Tag Team titles against the Vision, Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. Well, Paul Heyman sent a stern, clear message to both Theory and Braun Breaker that if they couldn't win their tag team championships over the Street Profits, there shouldn't be no Vision whatsoever. Well, Paul Heyman made it clear on what he wanted. He didn't even recommend Logan Paul to tell Logan Paul what he did wrong. I guess it really didn't matter. Well, throughout the tag team championship match, like I said, the Street Profits really dropped the ball. I mean, Street Profits dropped the ball. I don't know what's going on with Street Profits. They win the titles and they lose titles. It was like, what's the point of winning the belts and stuff? With hey. But none other. Maxine Dupree made her choice, and now I guess she's gonna be the on-screen girlfriend of Austin Theory. And I think she's married already. What does that point be? I really don't get that, but I mean I get it, but I mean Maxine Dupree, I guess, want to be a bad girl and stuff. So Maxine Dupree joining forces with the Vision and stuff, I guess, to be the 1990s when Paul Heyman had the Danger, Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, there's Sabisco and Medusa. So I go with that. The younger version of the Dangerous Alliance with Paul Heyman that still keep playing a key role in the match in the faction. Well, it looks like Austin Theory may have found his new love. I think he's engaged to somebody else. I think Maxine's married. I mean, I really don't. When you got someone that's already married, that's gonna cause problems. If you ask me, is he okay with this? Cam Hendricks, is he okay with this? That his wife is being poked up with Austin Theory? It just doesn't make no odds. And maybe Austin Theory's girlfriend, is she's okay with, because relationships like that could put strain real life relationships, then on TV and on screen relationships just really don't matter. But it might help her, gain her more visibility and more advantage. But at the same token, look at this. We see that Theory with Maxine Dupree, got the girl, got the title, and got the friends and all that stuff. But at the same time, look at this. We see Maxine just left American Alpha high and dry. So they're going to lead to a tag team time match down the road with them in ways. But I mean, Cesaro ain't going to fall for that shit. Maybe Otis might fall for it, but you never know. So that's gonna go. But we'll see how this is gonna progress. Well, speaking of Paul Heyman trying to reunite and trying to reinforce his faction to step it up and stuff, Paul Heyman also played a big role. He's gonna be playing a role at SummerSlam in that match between Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar one-on-one. We're gonna see Oba versus Brock at SummerSlam inside Hell in a Cell. And what a Hell in a Cell match that's gonna be coming up. Hell in a Cell, what a match that's gonna be coming up here. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi one-on-one in Hell in a Cell. So we could see that being the way too. We saw Oba Femi. Oba Femi came out there to address Paul Heyman and tell Paul Heyman that he's gonna do what he got to do to Brock Lesnar and try to put him down. So that's gonna be the issue right there with Brock Lesnar and them. So we'll see what Oba's gonna do. And Oba Femi saying that he's gonna take him down, but Paul said that Brock with the gun and however that's gonna be between them. But Paul Heyman laying down the law that he's going to make sure. But Oba Femi saying he's gonna make sure that Brock Lesnar goes down 1, 2, 3. We don't know if this is gonna be a retirement match or what, but we're gonna see how this is going to be. But Paul Heyman trying to be, Oba Femi said something about damage control, saying that Brock Lesnar uses Paul Heyman to damage control, but really doesn't think that, all that stuff. So that's going to be the damage control that we're going to see for that. So we're going to keep a close eye on this and see how this is going to play throughout the whole situation. But we're going to see. Well, SummerSlam coming up, Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi, Hell in a Cell. That should be these night 1 or night 2. I would say the beginning of night 2. So you end this damn rivalry between them. Saying Oba said, he said, let the book chapter closes. Speaking of another chapter that might be opening, we might see Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis still on the administrative lead. Nick Aldis feels like Gunther's disrespectful and doesn't respect everybody. And Gunther's saying that Nick Aldis is out of the hill and doesn't he's beyond his years and shouldn't wrestle. I think they're close in age. I think Nick Aldis was born in 1986, so he should be 40, and Gunther born in 1988. So they're kind of close in age when you think of it. So I mean, I don't know why Gunther even said something like that when he's close to their age too, when he's 2 years closer. So I mean, they're gonna have a decent match at SummerSlam. So we'll see. I don't think Gunther shouldn't be trying to talk about nobody ageism and stuff like that when he's close. When Nick Aldis just 2 years older than him. Just come on. Well, they had an impromptu match. Ethan Page teamed up with Rusev to take on the team of Ray Phoenix and Javon Evans, I think. Ray Phoenix and Dragon Lee. What a match that was. Like Rusev back using the accolade to take down his opponent. Rusev did do that and won his match. So Rusev using the accolade as a weapon, even to the point that Joe Henry tried to come out there to help out. It still wasn't enough for Joe Henry. Joe Henry, the numbers game came through on Joe Henry and Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix and Joe Henry suffered the accolade. Rusev coming back on his own. Well, we know next week on Raw, we'll determine a number 1 contenders gauntlet match. Whoever wins this gauntlet match is the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship against Penta at SummerSlam. Between these 7 men will be competing for a shot. Former Intercontinental Champion Mysterio, Dominic, the only one who got experience winning the Intercontinental title. Joe Henry, a NXT champion. Ethan Page, NXT champion. Rusev, a former U.S. champion. Chad Gable looks like he wants to be Intercontinental champion, former tag team champion. Javon Evans. Um, Everybody's gunning for a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, and there'll be a no more contenders match, gauntlet match next week. So we'll see that match coming up. All right. We told you CM Punk once again comes on Raw and wins the WWE Championship. Congratulations in order to Punk. Punk's back on the top of the mountain as the world's heavyweight champion. So congratulations. We want to show you CM Punk on the graphic right here. So we're going to end that right here on the Raw Ring Report. We're going to move over right quick to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we want to talk about this right here. A lot of news going on. A lot of news. Just the biggest. We had multiple stories this week. We're going to kick things off with this. Jey Uso, former world champion, was MIA tonight. Jey Uso wasn't seen tonight on Raw. I guess we kind of know why he wasn't seen on Raw tonight. I guess they didn't want to give the embarrassment and the headache. So Jey Uso is going through a divorce. Jey Uso no longer with Jey Uso divorcing his wife Tamika over for 12 years. Tamika was the one that filed for divorce. A lot of people are saying she's saying in the courts that it was irreconcilable differences or it was irreparably broken. So Tamika wants property in their Georgia home. She wants spousal support, and then she wants joint custody of their minor son Jason that Jay brought out with the Yeet. So I had to ask somebody like, what, spousal support, what does that mean? So this lady, his wife, wants spousal support for every year they were married. So a lot of people are saying that maybe allegedly Jay was having an affair with fellow WWE superstar and NXT star Jaida Parker. Like they say, man, they say about anybody, if you in a relationship or you finna get married, you need to know if you're gonna stay in this, you're gonna stick in it, or you want to be single or what. You can get. I get people grew apart, and maybe Jay wanted more excitement. Who knows? But like I said, it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her, like the Johnny Taylor song. It's cheaper to keep her. But at the same time, maybe Jay and Tamika grew apart, and that happens. But TMZ was the one that reported it, and TMZ knows their history and stuff. So TMZ was all on this today. So TMZ gets the credit today for making that report coming up here. So it's unfortunate for Jey Uso, but Jay, hey, he got a new woman. So Jay, Jay ain't gonna they let the small stuff. He gonna move on, and Jay wants to go on with his life. Speaking of that, more we heard Sheamus has left WWE due to a contract dispute. This is Sheamus right here. What is really going on today? Sheamus, wow, Sheamus no longer wow. I know that's just crazy tonight. Sheamus. Wow. No, for me, I grew up watching Sheamus when he first won the WWE title in 2009 from John Cena in that tables match, the breakout. Battle Royal and Sheamus broke out. Sheamus had the look, the appeal. He was pale. So that was kind of easy nemesis for John Cena, and not know that Sheamus had his last match with a tag team match with John Cena a couple months ago. So that's kind of crazy, but it happens. So we'll see what Sheamus' next move will be. Sheamus was supposed to be gunning for the Intercontinental title to make him a Grand Slam champion, but you never know. Sheamus could always come back and try to, get back into these good graces. So hopefully Sheamus have something worked out eventually for them. So with WWE or something, they'll work out some agreement. Speaking of that, more news to share, more good news to share. We got through the bad. Now we're gonna get to the good. Good news to share that former WWE superstar and former NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose is expecting her first baby. Congratulations to Mandy and Tito for expecting their first child. This is a life-changing moment for Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is about to enter motherhood, and congratulations to Mandy on her motherhood and stuff. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go to this right here. Now we're hearing reports that that somebody said that Triple H and the SmackDown is gonna move back. SmackDown just recently in the 3-hour situation. Now they're back to 2 hours again. Well, for now, starting back in January, SmackDown will be back on 3 hours again. It's just like it's like they rotate every season. SmackDown every 6 months. SmackDown moving back to 2, starting gaining back to 2. So you know how they go with SmackDown. So no surprise here nor there. Also, too, want to get to this right here. Next week on Raw, want to get to this. Roman Reigns, the OTC, the Tribal Chief, returns. Roman returns. Will he address the situation going on with Seth Rollins, on what Seth Rollins said about him, as well as LA Knight? Roman Reigns appeared back on Raw. We'll see Roman back on Raw, what he has to say to his impending championship match with Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns back on the red brand. We'll see what Roman Reigns has to say. Well, speaking of that, more news and stuff. As Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar returns. He's going to try to confront Oba Femi. Brock Lesnar's back. All the money guys are back. The high-end money guys are back. Brock and Roman. We'll see what they got to say next week. We'll see what they're going to be building up for SummerSlam as well. As well as this is another build for SummerSlam. Io Sky, the Jeans of the Sky, number one contender for the Women's Championship, and the Queen of the Ring will go against Roxanne Perez. That's going to be a good one. Goody but goody. But we'll see that match coming up here on Raw next week. Highly contested. Well, we end the Raw Ring Report with none other than CM Punk winning back the WWE Championship for the 8th time. Congratulations to CM Punk. We'll see what CM Punk's going to do this Friday on SmackDown. Don't forget, we'll have your SmackDown Ring Report coming up this Friday, so we'll keep a close eye on CM Punk this week on Raw. This week on all WWE, especially winning the title on Raw. What his remarks going to be winning the belt back on SmackDown for SmackDown. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show Raw Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. I'm going to leave you with CM Punk winning the World Championship once again for the 8th time. And we'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.